Today, we'll be getting into the new subtle hints for Rock vs. Roman, a look at some new comments from AJ Lee, Ronda Rousey, and more. Let's start things off with Ronda Rousey and the situation there. Ronda Rousey spent several years on top of the world during her time with UFC. She had this run in UFC where she was absolutely unbeatable and became a household name extremely fast. But besides UFC and the actual fighting that goes on there, Ronda was also a huge fan of WWE and grew up watching it. One of her favorites was, of course, the late Roddy Piper. She was close to him, and that's why her WWE entrance video and merchandise had the same colors and design to it that he once had during his time in WWE. Ronda bursted onto the WWE scene in early 2018, and this was huge for WWE and gave them the most mainstream media attention that they had seen in quite some time. ESPN and all these other huge sporting platforms were discussing Ronda Rousey's move to WWE. Fast forward a few months, and she was at WrestleMania 34 facing Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in her first huge match. Fast forward again a few months after that, she captured the Raw Women's title and held it all the way until her last appearance, which was WrestleMania 35 in 2019. So Ronda's entire run lasted a year and a half, but what she did and what she accomplished was just insane. She wasn't a part-timer at all during her run. She worked a full-time WWE schedule like any other superstar, wrestled at live events and wrestling weekly on Raw. She was fully away from home and on the road full-time with WWE, so a lot of people give her credit for that. She was fully committed to her career change. Of course, you have to give credit to Ronda for what she did for the women's division as well. Lots of reports claim that there would have never been a WWE Evolution event or WrestleMania 35 main event if Ronda Rousey wasn't present in WWE. So even her brief run in WWE, she left a heavy mark on WWE history. But here's where the trickiness comes into play. Ronda Rousey had originally signed a 3-year deal with WWE that was set to expire in spring of 2021. However, Ronda Rousey has been inactive since spring of 2019. So the big question everyone has been asking about her contract status: did her contract expire during her inactivity? Or is there some legal loophole that froze her contract after she left and she still has those 2 years left on her contract? That's been the biggest question for a while now. Ronda Rousey recently appeared in a Facebook gaming stream, and someone in the chat asked her if she was still under contract with WWE, and she had this to say in response to that individual in the chat. Quote, I don't think I am, but who knows? That's a question for the lawyers. End quote. Ronda also mentioned that she still keeps in close contact with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon and sends them baby pictures all the time. But it seems like the whole situation is a big question mark, even for Ronda Rousey herself. So we'll have to see what her future holds and if Ronda still has some time left on her contract. AJ Mendez is gearing up for her big return to the pro wrestling scene with WOW Wrestling. AJ recently appeared on the State of Mind show and opened up about her WWE success and the doubt that was going through her head early on in her career. She had this to say, quote, I mean, especially when I started, it was like the prototype was Pamela Anderson. That's what the women looked like, or familiar with China. It was like you had to be an Amazon woman, and I'm neither. I was also paid to try out, which is such a gimmick, but it worked. I got hired. I don't think I was supposed to succeed. I think I was, good in the ring, and I was supposed to train other girls that were way hotter to go on TV. And then I just got really lucky where I got popular with the fans, end quote. AJ went on to say that she believes she connected with the fans so much because she didn't have the typical Amazon look. She thinks that since she looked like a regular fan, it really helped her connect with the fans. So it was great to see how AJ's WWE career turned out, She thought she'd just be used in WWE as a trainer to prep some of WWE's more prototype-looking talent, but she ended up striking success herself. Hopefully, even greater things awaits AJ in WoW. Has The Rock vs. Roman Reigns story quietly begun? There's been a lot of subtle hints, so let's go over them. Starting off with how Roman Reigns has been dropping the "it doesn't matter" line when he speaks sometimes. The Rock asking individuals questions and then cutting them off mid-sentence by saying "it doesn't matter" was a signature and iconic move by The Rock. And now, Roman Reigns is starting to bite that. Fast forward to Survivor Series, and that night was just flooded with Rock hints, since it was his tribute show to him after all. Of course, you had the conversation between Vince McMahon and Roman Reigns that we briefly discussed earlier in the week. But go back and watch that segment very carefully and keep an eye on Roman because he'll tell the story without even saying a word. Vince is over here gloating about what The Rock has become in current day, how he treasures this gift from The Rock, and how they're having this entire show for The Rock. Roman looks annoyed and dismisses everything Vince McMahon said. The only time Roman spoke was when he made a cheeky remark on how his contract will be worth more than the gift from The Rock. So another way of Roman basically dismissing the gift from The Rock and telling Vince McMahon that he should be more invested in him instead of this gift from The Rock. Then, during the main event, you had this moment of Roman Reigns flat out using the rock bottom move, which the commentators did comment on and confirmed that it was the rock bottom. So as you can see from those three massive teasers, the story seems to be underway. The match itself isn't expected to happen until possibly 2023, but the fact that we're already getting so many hints towards it is probably a good sign that we could even see an interaction between The Rock and Roman long before 2023, and hopefully so. There's already so much hype for this unconfirmed matchup, but we could even see a brief interaction between Roman and The Rock on some random edition of SmackDown. It'll drive the hype up even more through the roof. It's already the most talked about and the most hyped up match, and WWE hasn't even had them in the ring with each other in several years. So have them do anything in the ring together, and fans are going to expect the match to surely happen after that. Does The Rock have a realistic shot of knocking Roman off, even in a non-title match? Not really. No matter if it's a title match or a non-title match, Roman Reigns would definitely be the favorite in that matchup. The Rock obviously won't be sticking around after the match, so there's no real purpose in him picking up the win. No point in giving the win to someone who isn't even going to be there. But Roman can definitely benefit a lot from a big win like this, so that's why he makes more sense. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.